We are rolling, and that is a video. Okay, great. So we are talking about adding, subtracting positive and negative numbers. You guys know how to do this, and I know Nate, so some of it I'm going to go through really quickly, partly because I don't have a lot of time. But remember, as mathematicians, we are looking for patterns. That's what mathematicians do. They look for patterns. They take something simple, try to find a pattern from that something simple, so that then they can use that same pattern for the more complicated stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? When we teach you something, when we teach you how to solve an equation, we teach you how to solve a simple equation. And you learn the process. Then I give you a hard problem. Oh, you just use the simple problems process, and it works on the hard ones. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those patterns, okay? So as you guys know, a number line, right? We got a number line. Right? And it's really quite simple. That's 10. Okay. So if I have 4 plus 2, I know you know the answer, right? But with a number line, you would go to start at 0. Nate's done this, right? Has Nate done this with you?
Yeah. It's not a graph, but yeah.
Okay, not with this method. So you start at 0, and it said you go to 4. So you go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do it down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it says I have to add 2. So I'll add 2. 1, 2. So 6 is my answer. Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. I've got a 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. Now I know. Right? Everybody knew, right? Yeah. So, but where it gets a little more complicated is when you've got your pluses and minuses, right? So if I had 8 minus 5, you still know the answer pretty easily, right? But we'll do it. We start at 0. We go over to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm here. And then I go negative 5. Which direction do I go?
Left.
Left, right? When I go positive, I'm always going to the right. To the right is always positive. To the left is always negative. So I go over to 8. There I am. And then I have to go left 5 because it's negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer is 1, 2, 3. 3. So that's 3. Now you guys knew that, right? Everybody knows this. Am I right?
Yeah.
Is there anybody in this class that doesn't?
No.
Just so I know. Yes, Sam.
But how, like, if it was subtracting, how would you tell the difference between a negative and subtraction?
Okay, great question. Great question. So, but let's just try a few for a second. I think if we do just a few more examples, you'll see. Let's say I gave you 5 minus 8. Okay? 5 minus 8. I would go to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would go back 8 this way, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is negative 1, 2, 3. That's negative 3. You with me? Now, what if I gave you this? What if I gave you, hang on, Skylar, just give me a second. What if I gave you negative 4 minus 5? What would I do, John?
You would add them, actually. Or no, sorry.
Well, with the number line first. With the number line first.
What you do is you have 5, and then you move.
I got negative 5.
Sorry. Oh yes, negative 5.
Or negative 4. I'll start with the negative 4. Let me go over negative 4. So from 0, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's negative 4, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I remember what we're doing. So if you're adding 2 positives, if you're adding 2 negatives, basically you're gonna keep going to negative 9.
Right. Because I got to negative 4 here, but it says now I've got to do negative 5. I still got to keep going left because it's negative. Am I right? You see what I mean?
So I thought that was negative 4 minus 5.
It is.
Well then,
okay.
wouldn't
Think of it. That's a great question.
They're the same thing.
This is what a lot of books will do. They'll write it more like this. They'll write negative 4 plus a negative 5. The negative belongs to the 5. All right? So you can write it like this. That's more clear in some ways. But if you think of it this way, I tend to use this method more because it's simpler to read to me than this. In my brain, though, is what I'm saying is this. I know the negative belongs to the 5. I know that negative belongs to the 4. So I'm saying negative 4 and negative 5. I'm not saying negative 4 minus 5. I'm saying negative 4 and negative 5 is negative 9. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm basically saying it this way, thinking in my brain like this, but I'm writing it like this because it's easier. I don't have to do all those extra marks, right?
So how I learned it last year is there's no subtract anymore, it's just addition with negatives.
Correct.
So
That
all
is
numbers
correct.
that have a negative sign in front of them,
Yeah.
you're
adding with
subtraction sign.
minuses.
Yes.
It's adding with
Minus.
negative signs.
Right.
Minus. It
I'm
says
going to
minus.
see if
That's
there's a
improper
chance I
grammar.
could have
You're in
a few
proper
more
grammar.
minutes.
You're in. Oh shit.
Oh, you have 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Can you tell them to? Okay, we got 5 more minutes. That's awesome. Okay, great. So does that make sense, guys? So here, negative 4, I go over to negative 4, and it says, and I do a negative 5 as well. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's negative 9. So that gives me negative 9. That's the same thing as this. Negative 9. Fist to 5. That means, you guys know what that means, right? Everybody's got it, right? Am I confusing anybody?
No.
Okay, great. Now, there's a problem with this. There is a huge problem with this method. Huge, huge, huge. Okay, let's see. Now, I'll give you another problem. Let's see. Let's do 819 minus 2,476. Okay, so now we're just going to we'll just do this. So we're going to go start at 0. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, wait a minute. I got to get over. My son, but I'll call him back. I could go on around the room 7,000 times, right? And finally get to what I need, or 700 times. Whatever, it's going to take me a long time, right? This would not be a good example of something you'd use a number line for. So as mathematicians, we've got to figure out a method that always works to handle these horribly difficult looking problems, right? So let's start with simple stuff like we were talking and see if we can find a pattern. So, okay, let's try this. Let's say, all right, what is 10 minus 6?
4.
4, right? Everybody knows that for sure? Okay, it's 4. Now, I'm going to flip these. What is 6 minus 10?
Negative 4.
Negative 4.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're looking for patterns. Okay, now what is 20 minus 16?
4.
4! Oh my god. Okay, what is, I'm going to flip them now, right? What is 16 minus 20?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Oh my god, are you starting to see a pattern? Oh my god, this is incredible. Let's try something else, random. Like 36 minus
Here, that's
32.
not random, you're just adding.
36 minus 32, what is that?
4.
4! What is, we'll flip them again, what's 32 minus 36?
Negative 4.
Negative 4, are you guys seeing it? You see the pattern? Whenever I add or subtract two numbers from each other, I always get either 4 or negative 4. It's awesome.
Well, not always.
Always, look, I'm proving it. Look, I'll prove it. Random number, 68 minus,
Not
I don't know, any
random.
number.
15.
64, we'll just try that. All right, what is that? 4, that's what I said. And then what is 64 minus 68? Negative 4.
Gary,
Gary,
you're
can I
genius.
give you random numbers?
You guys, we're going to win an Academy Award. We're going to win, like, I don't know, something.
Nobel Prize.
Nobel Prize.
Because we invented the doorknob.
This is amazing. So, what?
Can I pick 2 random?
Yeah, sure. Give me.
Okay.
All right, guys, shh, wait.
85
85.
minus 1.
Okay, minus 1. Okay, this is easy. I know what it is already. It's going to be 4, and 1 minus 85 is negative 4. That's so easy. Now, give me a harder, no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something's wrong here. Dee Dee,
I proved
you ruined my theory. All right, what is it?
85.
No,
It
it's
still has a
84.
4 in it. Every single one has a
And
4 in it.
negative 84.
At least every
It
single
still has
one.
a 4 in it.
So,
Or a factor of 4.
so guys, let's try a few more. Let's just shout out a few more. I'll just keep that up.
72 and 76.
Okay. And let's do this one first. 76 minus 72.
74.
Oh my God, no, that's 4.
That's 4.
And negative 4. So there's only one exception so far. That's great.
Well, see, the thing
Okay.
is that you have
All
to
right.
do
3 minus 2. What is that? No, it's 1. What's 2 minus 3?
just have to do the nearest
4.
Negative 1. Now what is this? What is 8 minus 3?
5.
5. What is 3 minus 8?
Negative 5.
Okay, can somebody, by looking at these patterns, tell me what you notice? Yes.
that if you subtract the greater number from the lesser number, whatever it equals,
It's
the negative version or the positive, the negative version, the positive version is just the negative version.
Right. So really there's two things. There's the sign and there's the actual number itself, right? We notice that when we subtract, we go 10 minus 6, we get 4. When we subtract 6 minus 10, we still get the 4, only the sign has changed. Do you agree with me? Does that make sense? So, yes.
If you subtract all you have to do is find the common multiples.
And the
not
polynomial.
the multiples of 6 and 4, and then the nearest ones to each other is always 4. Well, if you think about it.
That's interesting. I'll have to think about that. That's
Wait, no,
interesting.
that's not true. Never mind. Let me see.
I'd have to think about it and make sure it works for all the problems. But, yes, Jackson.
So what I think is if the greater number is first, then it's going to be positive. But if the smaller number is first, then the number is going to be negative.
So that's an interesting pattern. Look at that. Notice which is now there's one thing that he's left out. It's called the word absolute value. Have you guys heard that before?
Yes.
The absolute value of 10 is what? Do you guys know what absolute value is? Does anybody not know what absolute value is? It's okay if you don't.
Pretty
I'm
sure
not.
I do know, but I forgot.
Okay, great. Thank you for saying that.
Absolute
An
value means positive.
Absolute value of any number, like let's say 20, is a positive answer. It's positive 20. The absolute value of negative 20 is also a positive answer. It's positive 20. Meaning absolute value takes whatever's inside, the final value inside, and turns it positive. Okay?
We're smart people.
So
We're conceptualists.
because if you said the absolute value of 10 would be 10, the absolute value of negative 6 is what? 6. Which number is bigger, 10 or 6? 10. What's the sign in front of 10? Positive, therefore the answer has to be positive. When I'm adding and subtracting, I'm not talking about multiplying and dividing, I'm talking about adding and subtracting, right? Okay, which one is bigger, 6 or 10? 6 or 10? 10, right?
But
So
6
what's
is
the
not-
number in front of 10? I mean, what's the sign in front of 10?
Negative. 6
Ah.
is bigger than negative 10, but it's
Right,
not.
but I'm talking, Amaya, I'm talking about the absolute value though, right? I didn't say that, but I'm actually skipping, I'm leaving the absolute value out for a while. I'm just sort of saying 6 and 10, which is bigger? 10 is bigger, right? Yeah, if I included that negative with the 10, then 6 would be bigger. But I'm just thinking of it in terms of the number itself, the actual digit. 6 and 10, 10's bigger, what's the sign in front of 10? Negative, the answer has to be negative. Then all I have to do is subtract the littler number from the bigger number, which makes it really easy. Now, where this gets helpful, it becomes helpful, is when you have big numbers. Because if I had, I know the bell's about to ring. If I had 213 minus 648, right? The way we have been taught to do this, wait, before you guys leave, just wait 1 second. The way we've been taught to do this is impossible. if I did 213 minus 648, and I did it like this, sit down please, I'm not done, right? That would be impossible, because I'd have to borrow something to subtract 6 from 2.
Yeah.
So, can you guys agree with me that the answer is going to be negative? Sit down please, I asked you to sit down. It's got to be negative. So I'm going to do this. I know that the answer is negative. I'm going to put equals and I'm put a negative. And then I'm going to just flip this, and I'm going to say 648 minus 213. And then I get my answer, and I can put it right here after the minus sign. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Like,
You get it?
It's
Okay.
the sign of, whatever the sign of the bigger number is, that's what
Exactly.
the...
All right, so this was a very fast lecture, guys. I should have spent much more time.
We did that.
Yes, you have homework.
But